Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. So excited about today's video. I know what some of you might be thinking. Seriously, Mandy, another eyeshadow palette video, another 7 looks video. What is this channel becoming? Are you sure we have some other content coming up very soon? But I have to say, this last 6 weeks, there were some exceptional releases that came out that I was personally very excited about, and this one was definitely one of those. Today we are talking about the Kathleen Lights and Colourpop So Jaded palette. When I saw this palette released, for a brief moment, there was a small part of me that was like, oh no, another eyeshadow palette. But I only said that because I knew that this was one that I had to have. I'm a huge fan of Colourpop's eyeshadows, but I don't typically collect all of them. So I don't order things from Colourpop all the time. I think for someone that is an eyeshadow palette lover, I actually don't own a ton of Colourpop palettes, but this one was different because I'm also a huge fan of Kathleen Lights. I've been following her for a very long time. I think a lot of us probably have. She's kind of the America's sweetheart of the YouTube beauty community, but I not only love her personality, I also really love her makeup taste. She has come out with some really fantastic releases. She's come out with some great collaborations and also just great recommendations. So this was something that I was super excited to try out for myself, but also for you guys. So this is the palette right here. This is Colourpop's largest palette they have come out with yet. There are 30 shades inside this palette. 14 of them are mattes. There are 13 shimmers. There's also one Super Shock shadow in here, which is right here in the corner, and also 2 pressed glitters, which you get here and here. Looking at this thing, the variety, does it not just blow your mind? It's definitely something I was very excited to see, and when I saw it, I knew it was something that I had to do 7 looks with. Now, I may or may not mention this in all of those videos that I've done, but typically my goal in creating these is to use every single shade inside the palette. So I knew I had a challenge on my hands when this one came out and had 30 shades inside of it. I've never done one that included that many shades before. The Born to Run 7 looks video that I did, that one included 28 shades, and that was a bit of a stretch for me to utilize all 28 of those shades in just 7 looks, but I wanted to make it happen, and I did for you guys, which is part of the reason that I am wearing blue eyeshadow right now. You guys might know I do not wear blue eyeshadow. I can count on no hands the number of times I've worn blue eyeshadow. This is a first for me, and I was very intimidated by that, and there's a couple other looks that I did that intimidated me a little bit, but I found that it was really fun for me to create this look, and I actually ended up loving this eyeshadow look as well as some of the other more unique ones that I created. My goal is to kind of make these videos a little bit more wearable. Some of these pushed myself a little bit outside of what I consider to be wearable, but I still really enjoyed the looks that I came up with, and I hope that you guys will enjoy them as well. I'm excited to keep playing with this palette because this is certainly a palette that you could get 7 times 7 looks out of this palette because there's so much variety inside here. And I think even a lot of the slightly more dramatic looks that I created could definitely be scaled back a little bit to be a little bit more wearable for sure. So I hope whether you are in the market for this palette or not that you get inspiration out of this video. And that is always my #1 goal in these videos. It's not to push you guys to buy eyeshadow palettes that you may or may not need, but my goal is to inspire and also to inform you guys, help you figure out if this is something that would be a good addition for you to add. Before we jump into the 7 looks, I want to mention 2 things for you guys. First off, this video is not going to really include my detailed review on this palette or comparisons. I normally try to do those in these videos, but I just found the last couple that I've done, the videos are just a little bit too long. There's a little too much information and they are a beast to edit. So I decided to separate those out. So if you guys are interested in seeing comparisons to other palettes, seeing if these shades compare to some things that I already have in my collection, some things that you might already have, as well as my detailed review on this palette, please let me know in the comments below because I would be more than happy to do that for you guys if you think that would be interesting and helpful. One more thing to note, as I was naming the looks, which I do in all of these 7 looks video, I give each of the looks a name. Because I've done quite a few of these videos up to this point, I've found it to be a little bit difficult to come up with names for this. So for this video, I thought it would be kind of fun for me personally to name these looks after something Kathleen and I have in common, and that is actually our love for The Office. I'm a huge Office fan. I mean, I'm an Office nerd. I absolutely love the show The Office. So each of the looks names come from The Office. So that may or may not make sense to all of you guys, but I wanted to explain that to you. To those of you that are wondering, what in the world? Maybe that was a dumb idea. I thought it would kind of be like an inside joke between me and Kathleen, who probably will never watch this video, but I had a lot of fun with it. I hope that you guys are okay with that. Before we get into it, I want to welcome any of you that are new to my channel. I hope that you will stick around for a while. Hit that subscribe button. Make sure that you ring the notification bell if you want to be notified every time I upload. And with that said, let's jump into look number 1. Alright you guys, I hope that you enjoyed those 7 looks. I had so much fun creating these. This definitely pushed me more than I've ever been pushed with these 7 looks videos before, but I found that it can be super fun to step outside of your comfort zone and try something that makes you a little bit uncomfortable. But I hope for today you guys enjoyed the inspiration from this palette. I will mention really quickly, the pressed glitters in here, I'm not opposed to glitter in general. I love glitter inside eyeshadows, but these are very much the type of glitter that I feel like when I see it, it belongs on a cursive letter made out of Elmer's glue. You know what I'm talking about? Like you shake it out in a bag and you sprinkle it on top of the glue. And then you do that satisfying thing where you curl up the paper and dump it out and you're left with this beautiful letter C. But those are not necessarily the type of glitters that I like to put on my eyes. They're a little bit too chunky and intense for me. But I've got to say, you guys, as much as I was not excited to put these glitters on my eyes, or I felt like they weren't really me, they actually looked really pretty on the eyelids. I still don't know that I would say I would wear these out and about, even on a date night. They're pretty intense. They are pretty chunky, but they are prettier on the eyes than I thought that they would be. But other than that, and those being a little tricky to work with, everything else in here I think was just seamless and very easy to work with. Some super fun color combinations in here. But for today, that's all I have for you guys. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that this was inspiring for you guys. I hope that if nothing else, the fact that I am on camera talking to you in blue eyeshadow, I feel like that's a moment in history for me. I am not usually comfortable in this kind of a thing, but it was so fun to recreate it for you guys, and I hope that you guys had fun watching. I want to thank all of you guys for stopping by my channel today, for watching this video. I really appreciate the time that you guys take to watch my videos. It really does mean the world. If you haven't yet subscribed, I hope that you'll consider doing that before you leave. Thank you guys again. I hope you have a great day or night, and I will see all of you guys in my next video. Bye. Great day or night, whenever, whenever, wherever, and whenever you are. Whew. Breathe. I always sound like I'm out of breath, and then I can hear myself like puffing, gasping for air. Like, just, why is it so hard for me to breathe and talk at the same time? I kind of feel like looking in the mirror, I should sing that Mulan song, you know? Who is this girl I see? Staring right. Wait, how do the words go? Who is this girl I see? Staring straight back at me.